When most people think about New York City, they think about Manhattan, Times Square, or Central Park. However, Manhattan is just one of the 5 boroughs that actually make up New York City in its entirety. New York City as a whole is actually made up of Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, and Staten Island, where I grew up and call home. In recent days, people have heard a lot about Staten Island thanks to Megastorm Sandy and the destruction on and around the island, including the fact that Staten Island was the last place to get help due to the fact that there was no way to get there for days because the Staten Island Ferry and all 4 bridges, including the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, which is near my house, were closed. But let's go back before Megastorm Sandy to the Staten Island that I know and love. I would show you my house, but that is not safe, so instead I will take you on a tour of the island. First, let me welcome you officially to Staten Island, the borough of parks. We have so many parks, including Snug Harbor, which is one of the best places to go to, whether you're with friends or family, or with just like a few minutes to yourself. There are beautiful walking paths, beautiful gardens, and historic buildings. It will always take your breath away. Another place that I love to go to is the Alice Austin House Museum. This house was owned by the Austin family and was built in the 1700s. It is along the shore, very near to the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. It was the home of Alice Austin, the first female photographer in the 19th century. The house has stood the testament of time as a historical landmark that is taken care of by the Friends of Alice Austin Historical Society. When you walk into the house, it feels as if you walk back in time. It is so peaceful. And yet, when you are outside, you feel like playing in the yard or walking down a few steps to take a leisurely walk on the beach looking at the beautiful shore and across to Manhattan. As I had mentioned before, I live near the Verrazano Bridge. As a matter of fact, I live 2 blocks from the bridge in the outskirts of Fort Wadsworth. Originally, it was known as Flagstaff Fort, and it has been standing since the Revolutionary War. However, captured by the British, it was finally given back to the United States in 1783. It was reverted into federal control and finally renamed for Brigadier General James Wadsworth, who was killed in the Battle of the Wilderness during the Civil War. It has been run by the Army until 1979, the Navy, and then in 2007 the Coast Guard has been assigned there. For me, it is an amazing place to go for a walk with my beautiful dog Holly, or to hang out with the horses at the stables. Luckily for me, the horses are just steps from my house and the entrance to the fort. A few blocks from my house is a pier on Father Capodanno Boulevard. This pier has been around for as long as I can remember. Over the last 20 years, there have been improvements made, including new restaurants, a Ben & Jerry's ice cream place, and a swimming pool because you do not want to swim in the water around the South Beach area. Every 4th of July and New Year's, there is the most beautiful fireworks and celebrations for the community to take part in. Everyone feels like family. Finally, when you stand on the shore in Staten Island, you can see Manhattan. The best part of this view from the North Shore is standing at the ferry. That would be seeing all the way across to Manhattan and seeing the Twin Towers. That was until September 11th, 2001, when that tragic happening. On September 11th, 2001, everything changed for all of us. To remember all of the people, and as a reminder of that great tragedy, Staten Islanders voted to build a memorial. This memorial is a significant memorial and garden which also holds a piece of the 2 towers. This memorial represents the towers that have fallen and all of those innocent people and lives that were lost, and all of the families and people that are left behind. For me, I am quite proud to be a Staten Islander. Staten Island is my home.